Hi Scorpio, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be your love and spirituality reading for the rest of February, and this will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And I'll also be doing an extended video, so make sure you check the description box down below when you're finished watching this one. So Scorpio, I actually did your reading already twice and I was having some technical difficulties. I don't know if some of you are feeling blocked or some of you are feeling emotionally closed off because I was having a very hard time tapping into your energy, and that along with my personal readings just has me completely drained. So that's why I'm behind the camera today instead of in front of it. But hopefully your reading will go smoothly this time around. So I already pulled cards for you just to save a little bit of time. So the cards that came out in the past position are the Ten of Swords, the Hangman, and then the Eight of Cups. So immediately I see that there's a situation that you had a very hard time breaking free from in the past. I feel like the situation could have had to do with betrayal in some way, being stabbed in the back, just a very painful ending, which doesn't shock me at all. I feel like Scorpios are constantly going through these types of relationships or friendships. Like, it always ends with your loved one becoming an enemy. And that's because Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto, which is the planet of death and rebirth. So there's a lot of intensity that surrounds your connections, and a lot of times you go through the most transformation because you go through so much pain. So it's like you feel this level of intensity whenever you are attached to someone, and having to detach from someone when you have that much love for them causes a huge transformation within you. And that goes for you and also anyone who dates a Scorpio or who has a Scorpio partner that they're trying to get over. So it goes both ways. And that's why a lot of Scorpios are very paranoid or very, like, they have this intense energy, and they're also very mature. And that's because, like I said, they transform more quickly than other signs do because of the amount of pain that they experience when they are emotionally connected to someone. So it's like always a constant death and rebirth with every relationship that you go through. So I do feel like the past relationship that you were in, that you were stuck in, I feel like there was a spiritual reason why you were stuck in it. And when I say stuck in it, I don't mean stuck in the actual relationship, because for some of you, the relationship could have ended, but you were stuck in the feelings even after it had ended. So you were still thinking about the person, or you still felt this strong energetic pull towards them. And I feel like you were spiritually ascending during the time that you were stuck on them, because the Hangman is a card that talks about being stuck in a certain place, but you're gaining enlightenment while you're stuck. You're learning about yourself while you are stuck. You are learning an important lesson while you're stuck. If you think about people who jump into relationships right away after they've already gotten out of one, you'll notice that those people, they go through the same cycles over and over, the same patterns, the same breakups, and it's like they just keep going over and over without learning the lesson. And that's because they didn't take the time to stop and to spend some time alone in order for them to learn the lesson. And I feel like you were kind of forced to spend time alone, and you were forced to stay stuck on someone because you had to learn some sort of lesson or see the higher perspective of this relationship. Usually these type of relationships teach us about self-worth or self-value or self-confidence. It could have been different lessons for each of you depending on your situation. But overall, I do think that you being stuck actually served you. Even though it felt like a burden, it was helping you more than it was hurting you. So the Three of Pentacles is in the present position. Also the Queen of Pentacles and the Judgment card. So I feel like for a lot of you, this person was put up on a pedestal. I feel like you put them up on a pedestal, or you saw a lot of good qualities in them or good traits in them. But I feel like the good traits that you saw in them didn't really belong to them. They actually belong to you, if that makes sense. It's like sometimes when we have been raised in a household where we were constantly put down and where we didn't get the emotional nurturing that we need, we grow up pretty much not loving ourselves and not really seeing the good in us because we were never taught how to see the good in us, or we were always put down, so all we can see is our negative traits. And sometimes the universe will bring people into our life where we will see all these positive traits in them, but really those positive traits belong to us, and the universe wants us to see the good in us through another person. So just think back to whenever you were in a connection with someone and you just swore up and down that they were a good person. You were just like, this person's so kind and compassionate and funny, and you just admired them so much. But then when you broke up and you took off those rose-colored glasses, you actually saw, okay, what the hell was I thinking? No, that person actually wasn't compassionate. No, they weren't nice. No, they weren't all these qualities that I gave them. And that's really the universe trying to show you that those qualities are in you. You just don't see them. So you've been putting other people up on this pedestal when really you're the one that should be up on a pedestal, especially if you've been dealing with some type of narcissistic individual, because narcissists are known to mirror your good qualities back to you. So you're falling in love with yourself, thinking that you're falling in love with them, when really they're faking and acting like you. But when you don't know yourself, one of my professors used to always say this. She would say, when you don't know yourself, somebody can steal you from you and then sell you back to you. So that's what narcissists do. They steal you from you and then sell you back to you. So you think you're falling in love with them, but you're not. You're falling in love with yourself. It's really trippy when you think about it. So I think that you are the ideal partner. You have a lot of traits that a lot of people would want, because the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is very stable, very grounded, like someone who's going to be loyal, someone who you can count on to be there, someone who's dependable, someone who will help you grow your business, who will stay with you through the hard times. You know, it's like someone who everyone claims that they want, you know, but a lot of people don't deserve, because they wouldn't reciprocate that type of energy. And I feel like that's the energy that you carry. You're someone who has to be more selective about who you date and who you interact with, because you don't even see or understand how valuable you are. And when you don't see it and other people see it, they will take full advantage of that fact. That's why you see people all the time on social media like, oh, I held this person down for years, and you know, then they did this and that to me and they stabbed me in the back. And it's like, yeah, that's because they saw the good in you. They saw that you are like this stable, good person, and they took advantage of it because you didn't see the good in you. You see what I'm saying? You didn't see your value, or else you would never have stuck around with them. A lot of times when we work on our self-esteem and our self-confidence, we'll come to find that people from our past, we would never touch them with a 10-foot pole. Like, after we've grown to love ourselves, we look back like, what was I thinking? If I were to meet this person today, right now, I would never give them the time of day. And that's how you know that you've been dealing with people who have been kind of taking advantage of the fact that you weren't very confident within yourself, you know? So I do feel like whatever judgment call was made about a past situation, it was the right call, even if it felt painful, because I feel like this is divine intervention. This is like the universe stepping in and making a call on your behalf because you had a difficult time seeing it. It's like when you're with someone who really is not good for you, or who is really undervaluing you, or who's really treating you badly, and you can't see it because you can't see the good in yourself, the universe will step in, or your guides, or your higher self, whatever you believe in, will step in and remove you from that situation by any means necessary. And a lot of people see this as harsh. A lot of people may see it as harsh because sometimes it's kind of done in a way that seems harsh. Like, for example, this person might fall in love with someone else and move on, and it seemed extremely cruel and it seemed extremely harsh, but that was the universe's only way of setting up a barrier so that you would never be able to get back to that person. You see what I'm saying? It's like sometimes the universe has to take drastic measures because sometimes we really just can't see how much we are being hurt in a situation. So overall, I think that this situation was meant to teach you about your own self-value and your own self-worth, and never participating in situations where you feel like you're not getting the same energy back that you were putting in. And also, this could talk about not rushing into situations either, because I was pulling cards earlier and I got the Knight of Pentacles. So this could talk about not rushing into things. I feel like for some of you, you have a tendency to rush into relationships whenever you feel the intensity. It's like when you feel that feeling, you're just like, all right, I'm just going to go for it. And sometimes that's not the best thing to do. It's okay to want that intensity, especially with you being a Scorpio or having Scorpio in your chart. It's important to have that intensity with the person that you love, but it has to be like a more stable type of intensity. It can't be this explosive intensity and then you jump right into it and then suddenly you're on like this toxic roller coaster with the person. If you get to know the person slowly but surely, but make sure that you're still compatible in terms of like the passion and the intimacy and the intensity, then you can have that intensity for the long run, and you don't have to keep getting it in spurts, like getting into a relationship that's passionate and then it fizzles out and now you have to go and find it elsewhere. You can have that long term. It just takes a little while longer to build sometimes, but I feel like it's a good thing because, like I said, you have a lot of positive qualities that a lot of people would die to have, and a lot of people would be very grateful and blessed to have you, but you can't give that type of energy away so easily. You can't be so open to just anybody because, like I said, it's like you have something that a lot of people want. So don't waste it or don't give it away so easily. So I think that's it, Scorpio. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other messages. I don't know, like every month, the Scorpio reading is usually the easiest reading for me to do. I don't know why this month it just, I don't know. Some of you could just be feeling really closed off, but I think that's it. I'm going to continue this reading. I'm going to extend this, and I'll leave the link in the description box down below. So thank you so much for watching, Scorpio, and I will see you guys over on my Vimeo channel. Bye.